What we are launching here today is a public payments/purchase order dataset. And essentially this dataset is going to be available for the public to see exactly how the money is being spent across the state over the past few years. The dataset incorporates over 78.5 billion euros worth of public procurement spending. Essentially what we've done is pulled from over 190 state entities. Since 2011, state entities have been mandated to publish their purchase orders over 20,000 on their websites. We used a sophisticated system to pull that together and essentially show where the money is going at a state entity level and then down right to the individual suppliers. What our data set allows people to do is they can use this themselves. It democratizes the understanding of the public finances so that the person at home today can understand how money is being spent, where it's going and what they can anticipate. There's a few really interesting insights that have come out of the data, the things that people would have colloquially known, but now we've the data to underpin it. An example is the Q4 effect in local authorities. So every year local authorities spend a disproportionate portion of their budget in the last quarter. This is something that people knew colloquially on the ground, but now we actually have the graphs to underpin it. This is a really exciting data set. The link goes live today and it's going to be available for the broader public to examine, to understand and to take a look. As a member of the Public Accounts Committee, it's really exciting for me to launch this. I had huge support from Matthew Fenlon from the Problem Solving Association in compiling the data and making it a reality, and now we're delighted to launch it. This data is not perfect, but it gives a great indication as to what way the state is functioning, and this allows people to understand it better.
First of all, fair play to you. It sounds like it was an immense workload pulling this all together. How long did it take and what was the process by which you went about it? How long has this been in the work?
Yeah, so the first key here is actually understanding what the issue is. You know, we've no unique supplier IDs. We can't track payments to individual tenders. And ultimately, there's never been this level of detail given to the public before. The way this was brought together was simply looking. Each state body publishes purchase order reports on their websites, but nobody has ever taken the time to bring them together. And we in Fianna Fáil believe that the public deserve transparency and they deserve to know exactly where the money is going so that they can hold the government to account, hold us as their representatives to account, but have an understanding of the relationship that exists between politicians committing to budgets, but then how state entities go and spend that money.
How long has this been in the works, would you say?
This has been in the works for almost 2 years. Last year, prior to the election, I had this tracker on my website and we had coverage of over 25 billion worth of public spend. Now, since my election, what we've done is I sent out over 100 emails to public state bodies reminding them of their obligations under the FOI publication model in 2011. We've also sent hundreds of PQs to all the ministers ensuring that their departments are compliant. And since then, we've got the spend track from 25 billion up to 78.5 billion.
Obviously, you have the opposition who are, it's their job to point out perceived shortcomings when it comes to government spending and things like that. We see things like the bike shed and so on at the National Maternity Hospital recently. Are you at all concerned that by opening up this sort of scrutiny to the public that more shortcomings are going to be exposed, which will cause a headache for government effectively?
I'm not concerned with it, and I don't think government sees that as a headache. Government ultimately wants to be efficient, wants to move at speed and wants to see projects delivered. I think what's disappointing is we've a health service that spends over 27 billion, yet people are fixating on 100,000 euros in a tender for a bike shed. The interesting thing as well is, the National Maternity Bike Shed, that is open for contractors to bid on at the moment. It's not decided, and I think it will, provide an opportunity to suppliers to actually bid on that at a lower rate if they can supply it at that. I remember the time of the first bike shed, people said it could be done for 25 or 30,000, and in essence, it probably could be the shelter itself. But let people bid on it and let them win that bid at the lower amount and show that it can be done for less. And that's why the Taoiseach supports this data set being released, because he understands the importance of open, transparent government leading from the front.
There was an organisation several years ago, which I'm sure you're familiar with, Benefacts, and its job was to track and catalogue and collate all the information regarding spending on non-profits, charities, NGOs, things of that nature. And that was defunded a couple of years ago by the Department of Public Expenditure, I believe, and so that doesn't exist anymore. And for that reason, we don't have a lot of insight into the spending on the non-profit sector, which is obviously a multi-billion dollar, euro, should I say, sector. Is that something that you think should be looked at as well when it comes to the scrutiny of public finances, that having a centralized source for more than just what you've done already, which is very significant, but that there should be other organisations like Benefacts brought back into the fold?
Well, I think Benefacts, the intention was good, but they didn't realise maybe what the outcomes they desired were. What we know here is we firstly want to make it available to people, and following on from that then, we want to make sure that this spurs on action, and that what we do, and something I've been working on, is bringing forward legislation in the coming weeks that is going to achieve a few outcomes. It's going to link payments to tenders. It's going to ensure that there's unique supplier IDs across the procurement space, and also the amount of state bodies that aren't publishing their contract award notices. We have to get the basics right, and then what gets measured gets managed, and that's what I'm aiming for here.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Super.
Thank you. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Bill.